Hello, and welcome to another Monday Night Live. That's the kind of response I like. Thank you. All right, welcome. Quite a few faces that I haven't seen here yet. Really nice to see. Before I introduce our speaker tonight, I want to introduce myself. My name is Steven. I am one of the organizers of this event, myself and my partner Shea, whose brainchild this is. She's not here tonight. We have a small studio in Santa Rosa, California called Everybody Cleansing Studio. We just opened up a new studio last week. We offer a few different cleansing and detox modalities: colon hydrotherapy, food allergy and sensitivity testing, far infrared sauna, a number of things. So if you're interested in that, please check us out. We've got some flyers down here. Also, I want to remind you all about our newsletter. We offer a newsletter. It goes out every week. It's mainly about Monday Night Live. So when you get that, it's got a 5-minute audio interview to the next speaker, as well as video to all the previous speakers. We've got an entire past speaker archive. Yes. Yeah, so if you're not on that yet, please come down here and sign up for the newsletter after the talk. Upcoming, we've got some great people coming up soon. Abiba Wright, also known as the Crazy Cracker Lady. She is wild. She is a blast. If you've never met her or seen her, she's just, how can I describe her? She's a hoot. She really is. She'll be talking about, are you willing to adjust? Something to think about there. That is on September 7th. September 14th, we've got Steve Campbell, Making Your Mind Magnificent, Flourishing at Any Age. On September 21st, Melissa Mango. She's going to be talking about how to eat gourmet style without the heavy fats and complicated ingredients. And then on September 28th, Jennifer Cornblee, Raw for Dessert. I'm sure that'll get plenty of you back in here, huh? All right, so tonight, I'm really, really happy to introduce Sacred Steve Adler. He's going to be talking about love and gratitude and the raw food diet. And I can tell you, from what I know about Steve, he definitely exudes that just from the get-go. As soon as I met Steve, it was just obvious. The love just flows out of him. Steve is the founder and creator of Sacred Chocolate. If you have not tried Sacred Chocolate, big eyes over here. If you have not tried Sacred Chocolate yet, it's amazing. It is, in my opinion, absolutely the best raw chocolate out there. It's truly amazing stuff. You are an artist. Steve is also an ordained minister and chaplain at Spiritus Church. He holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, a master's degree in aerospace engineering from Stanford University. So quite a bit of talent there, definitely. Inspired by Anthony Robbins and Glenda Green, Steve believes that one stepping stone to empowering the Sacred Heart is through the raw food diet. So please, a warm welcome for Steve Adler.
Thank you. What a beautiful introduction, Stephen. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, how's everybody doing? Great, great, great. Well, I feel totally honored and blessed to be here to share from my heart and my mind some of the wisdom I've accumulated over the last 15, 20 years about love and its relationship to our food and diet. And you know, it's obviously an expression of my love now has turned into Sacred Chocolate. And it's really been a calling, actually, for me. If you had asked me 5 years ago, am I ever going to be in the chocolate business, I would have said, what? I'm just scratching my head. So I really, actually, it has been a real calling. And I really feel honored and blessed to bring about this whole revolution, you know, in chocolate making, and along with a whole host of other people out there doing the same thing. I want to back up a little bit of how I came to where I am now, because there's always a little bit of story and, well, how did you get to where you are now? Like, why are you wearing this funny hat, and what's that all about? And, well, what happened with me is back in '93, I came across the work by Anthony Robbins called Unlimited Power. And in that book, he said, hey, go out and buy a juicer. If you're broke, sell your car and buy a juicer. It's going to take you a lot further down the road. And that really caught my ear, because I was just ready to hear that information at that point in my time in my life. I had been studying a lot of information about self-improvement and positive mental attitude and self-image psychology and things like this. And so at that point, I had become quite an independent thinker and capable of just making my own decisions. And so I thought, wow, here's a guy who's a real leader, a wise person, a positive person, and he's talking about this interesting turn in a diet type of lifestyle. And I thought, and his argument was, well, why don't you look at all these great thinkers and philosophers throughout history, and he's naming people like Einstein. He's saying that they were all vegetarians, and there's probably a good reason why. And I thought to myself, well, I'm a logical person. I was an aerospace engineer at the time. I thought, I'm going to try it. And so it was amazing. I actually just went for it. And for the first several months, he just kept calling the shots in this book. He said, you're going to go through a detox, and you're going to go through this. And I'd never had any sort of symptoms like hay fever or detox or anything like this. And all of a sudden, 6 weeks into it, I'm having all these weird symptoms. And I'm like, oh my God, there's some truth to this. And so as I dove into it further and started reading other books more and more, I started realizing the truth of the fact that these raw plants are so critical to our overall health, and that we're really designed to eat at least the majority, if not all, of our diet as raw plants. And obviously we've strayed away from that a lot. So it's about what kind of strategies can we move towards to maximize that. Back then I was all about maximizing things in my life, right? Maximizing my efficiency and my ways of doing things and my lifespan and my longevity, and because that's just where I was in my life. And so this played a perfect part in that. And so can anybody tell me what the very most important thing is about raw foods? What's that? Health, yeah. It's that you eat them. That's the very most important thing. That you eat them. No, just kidding. You're right, though. It's the life force. It comes down to the water, just the high water content. We're 70% water, and we're very special water. We're this biologically active water. Right, and a lot of the health promoters out there will talk about the value of water. There's a whole industry now that's sprung up around water and filtration systems and bringing the vibration of water higher and higher and higher. Well, all this real high vibration water is also in raw plants. In fact, that it's actually the best form. And when I first got into raw foods, it was like, wow, it seemed like I was just doing more and more juicing and more eating raw plants, to the point where I never even... Water was the furthest thing from my mind. I never even thought about water. I was so hydrated all the time. It's like bottled water? It's like water filtration systems? No, I just have my juicer, and I have my salads. And when you're like that, you're not thirsting for water all the time. So a lot of it's just that plain hydration, and then combining it with things that make eating raw foods easy. Trying to work out strategies no matter what your lifestyle is, whether you're raising a family, right? Whether you're working 3 jobs, whatever you're doing, it's figuring out strategies that work for you, and not getting too mental or rigid about the whole thing, right? It's about, okay, let me see if I can just figure out how to make a cool salad dressing on my own with my blender. That right there is half the trick right there. I mean, if you can make a good salad dressing that can actually store in the fridge for a few days, you pour that on any sort of raw vegetable, period, and it'll be, tasty enough to eat on a regular basis. Even if you're sick of eating raw broccoli. It's amazing. You dip raw broccoli into some savory sauce. I remember in 1999, I was calling up Gabriel Cousins, famous raw food doctor, and I said, I just feel like I'm eating, too many avocados.